What do you mean?
You think Hassan has a bigger impact than Asmongold on the election?
Well, I mean, to be fair, Asmongold
Yes.
didn't really go full crazy super ultra mega until after the election, I'm pretty sure. Like he was kind of like his political didn't.
Okay, Dan is fucking delusional if he thinks that Hassan has more of a negative impact on the election. I don't even know, like, there's no way, right? Yeah. Yo, Foodshops, I hope Destiny will be safe. Can you reassure me? I don't know. He'll be safe. He'll be fine. Why are you turning to me for reassurance on whether or not Destiny will be safe? Go ask Stevie. Go ask Steven.
His content become entirely
What the
100% political after the election was over.
Well,
Yep,
what am I
we don't wanna
supposed to
talk about that.
say?
He's talking about as if it happened today.
I haven't even
So
met
yeah,
the guy in person.
As if we're looking at the future, yeah, right. The next election, not the
I'm
election.
just his
we can tie
lawyer,
back to.
okay?
Yes, the next one.
Well, I mean,
Well, you
right
said the
now, okay,
election.
fine. Then right now he's not streaming at all, so I win. Right? Do we want to go off that, or are you assuming
Who's not
again?
streaming at all?
Asmongold. He's taking a break. He said he doesn't know when he'll be back again. He's dealing with his dad. Maybe he doesn't stream
Okay,
anymore.
I'm
Maybe it's just
sure.
YouTube now.
Okay, if Asmongold's quit and he's never going to stream again, then you win. Absolutely. If Asmongold never comes back, you are totally right that he'll have no more future impact on the election. Is that really what you're banking on?
I'm not banking on anything. I'm only going off
Okay, so
of
then why
what I
bring it
know
up?
is what was, because I go off of what was the past. And in the past, I feel like Hassan was a negative influence, not only on the youth, but on the election, on the country, on everything across the board.
Yeah,
Let's
you think Hassan was a
hypothetically-
what? Hold on. You think that Hassan was a 100,000 vote influence on Pennsylvania?
I think Twitch was.
Twitch was, but not Hassan.
Hassan appeals to people who don't even vote. Like, Hassan appeals to nihilists and the Gen Z that were already not going to vote, right? Like, these motherfuckers, they either vote for a third party. It's not like they switched from voting for a Democrat to switching to voting for... I mean, he's not good. He's obviously very malicious and very evil, right? For the sake of his own clout, Hassan definitely... Hassan definitely does, like, infiltration into the fucking Democratic Party. Is not good, right? But Asmongold is more harmful. I would probably argue Asmongold is more harmful because he is able to ease people into politics that are normally gamers. So people who think that, because Asmongold, he masquerades himself. He also does infiltration, by the way. Don't confuse yourself. He also does infiltration. But he does it pretty damn well as well, okay? So, on the internet space, there's a huge normie gaming population, okay? Asmongold is like the one name that everybody knows and everybody watches, okay? When he covers politics and especially MAGA and stuff, he exposes these people to the most harmful talking points. So yeah, like, and not only that, he is very avowedly pro-Trump. Very avowedly pro-Trump. So he encourages his audience to go vote. That's an additional level of harm that people don't really realize. Right? Hassan encourages nihilism, but Asmongold actually encourages his audience to go out and make a change, right? Like, electorally wise, which makes him infinitely more harmful too. Not only that, Asmongold has millions and millions and millions of views on his videos. Hassan doesn't have that. Hassan's videos don't appeal. Like, Asmongold is the one that's consistently going viral. It's not even close. It's not even a competition. It's not even a close one. It's not. Yeah, anyway. But does Hassan make them believe both sides are evil and to not vote? If they would vote for Dems, he didn't convince them. Maybe there's just, like, my own fucking take. But, I don't know. It just feels as though Asmongold is much more harmful than Hassan, okay?
What percentage of Twitch would you attribute to?
You're asking me to give impossible things. I can't say
I'm asking
exactly.
you to give an opinion on your expertise.
All right, Arthur Heinous, I'm banning you because you're being a conservatard, okay? You are a retard. Yes, you are. Words absolutely brings harm, okay? Stochastic terrorism. Google it.
I don't know,
You're
okay.
the Twitch and Hassan expert in this room, okay? So I'm asking you to give the closest to a correct answer that you feel capable of giving. I'm not going to hold you to it. I'm not going to. A ballpark is fine.
I don't know. I would have to think more on it. I don't know, because it's not just each person, right? It's how much has Hassan kept people from voting? Because remember, again, he was someone who refused to endorse Kamala, and even went so far as to say that she was doing a genocide in Gaza would be the same as Trump in Gaza. And of course, his content had been 24/7 about the genocide. So there could have been a huge amount of apathy there. Now, how many viewers, distinct, unique viewers, does Hassan have over the course of a month? It's hard to say. Like, let's take a look at his how many followers he has, I guess, on Twitch, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So
we'll assume all of them are in Pennsylvania for your sake. Go ahead.
I mean,
well, we
he's
can
not.
do it. So he has 3.
If H3 has a backspine or a backbone, sorry, he would criticize Asmongold immediately, okay? Instead of keeping some kind of bridge with him. He would start criticizing, and you can keep the bridge, but like you have to at least give some indication or awareness to the fact that Asmongold is radicalizing so many people. So yeah. Hassan is a good example people can point to of evil leftists. I'm not, like, again, I'm not arguing that Hassan is like good or whatever, right? That's obviously ridiculous, and you guys don't believe that either. But Hassan has difficulty growing as well, like outside of Twitch. Twitch is the platform that constantly props up Hassan. And this is that's a talking point from Dan. Okay. Asmongold does nicely in the algorithm naturally. He does this naturally. That's a natural growth for Asmongold. Yeah.
Million followers on Twitch, and that's of people that have created Twitch accounts and have logged in there. That's not counting YouTube viewers, anything like that. So let's see, what percentage of population in the U.S. is?
You got nuked by D so harsh.
Wait, hold on. Actually, Dan, wasn't there a bunch of polls that were done of Hassan's audience a while ago? I mean, like, maybe wouldn't that be perhaps better, because otherwise you're not. Like, I mean, I know this is just a hypothetical, but
well, we can't really trust any data there. If you do a poll in Lonerbox chat about how many of you have, like, had sex with 50 women, it's going to be 90% of the chat. So
no, but I'm talking about like where people
poll
are from and what like most of the I would imagine most people aren't lying on like polls about like, are you American, or
So if we just go off of follower stats, 4% of his follower base, it's 120,000 people, just on Twitch, not counting
and we're
YouTube,
assuming that
not counting logged out.
People voted for Kamala Harris, even though
not counting logged out viewers, not counting anything else, not counting the people that they talk to, not counting
0% voting rate.
the family members that they're related to,
right?
not counting the phone call.
All of these people do not vote, right, Dan?
Well, you're trying to distinct it down to one number. And I'm telling you that there's a network effect off of it. No, I didn't say that 0% of them vote. You're trying to segue this into a very specific path. And I'm telling you that it's not just them as a specific person. Okay. It's also.
Dude, Smugbug is just such a sped. Like, you can definitely argue against, Dan, right? Like, Dan is Dan, okay? He's unhinged. But, like, but Smugbug is also a sped, like.
How many people did they go out and say, you know what, you shouldn't? Kamala is doing a genocide right now. You shouldn't do this. So what is the network effect of each of those person? How many doors did they knock saying that you should actually vote for Jill Stein or whatever it would be? It's not just this one-off that did they vote.
The Hassan anti-Kamala Harris canvassing efforts, really?
Smug, shut up.
That's what you're attributing it to now.
Shut up. First of all, change your weird profile picture because you stole my hedgehog. Second of all, this shouldn't just be a campaign against Twitch. This should also be a campaign against TikTok, because this is just like TikTok and the brain rot and Twitch.
There's definitely problems with other social networks. Twitter is horrendous. TikTok is horrendous. But I can say that where I can have the most impact and where I'm the most knowledgeable and where I have the most people that are interested in what I talk about is with Twitch. So I'm focused on Twitch. Okay. If I was all of a sudden to switch gears and drop and do a 180, or not 180, but just like to focus on something completely different like TikTok and go all in on TikTok, I would have almost no engagement. I would have no one that's interested in that, and I wouldn't be able to make any difference on.
Hold on. Stop. up, shut up. I can make a better argument than Dan can for this. Yes, the reason why Dan...
Let them fight for you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I can make a better argument on this point. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. What Dan just said is true, but you know what else is also true? Of those companies that you just listed, Twitch is one that he actually might have a chance to like do something against. Elon Musk has gazillions of dollars. There's no like influencing. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with Twitter, and you're not touching him. And TikTok is owned by a company that's from fucking China, and that's like a whole other thing.
J-Stock, I'll laugh. Shut up, Misaki. The problem is that Hassan might not just get banned if he catches the attention of the Trump admin MAGA. He might get arrested or killed. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, but then Asmongold has more room to expand, right? Like, I can totally see, like, a fucking alternate reality where Asmongold hosts the Charlie Kirk show, right? Because right now JD Vance is supposed to fucking host the Charlie Kirk show, I guess. But I can see a reality where Asmongold appears on it as a fucking guest speaker, not Hassan, right? Yeah, he's so harmful. He is.
When I said that you are so fucking doomer,
it's insane.
You've so given up on actually having any direct impact that you are only focusing on things that you can do internally with absolutely no regard for the actual greater impact. Every time someone questions Dan on what he's doing, he falls back to one of two positions. Either, well, actually, you're right, Hassan isn't that big a deal. I think it's Twitch overall. But then you attack Twitch, he goes, well, Twitch is obviously less important than the other things, but it's the only thing I can do.
Wait, when did I say that Twitch is less important to the other things? I've been pretty consistent that I'm focused on Twitch. Don't put that words in my mouth.
Hold on. Also,
so you said that TikTok and Twitter is more important, but that you cannot affect change in either of them. So you're just focusing on Twitch, even though you admit that it is the lower priority.
Oh yeah, I'm what you call not delusional on this. Like, so you know how like you have very little influence and you're not able to really accomplish anything except try to moral police or say you shouldn't talk to this person. That means that you can't change anything. You can't do anything. I'm willing to have imperfect allies to have a effective goal of being able to change something on Twitch. And I think it's a reasonable goal of being able to do. I think that I can change Twitch. I think that if I am able to continue down the path I'm doing, to expose how they have hypocritical policies, how they've done things in the past that are just inexcusable. The CEO says that they want to have young kids on the platform, all this stuff. I think I can have an impact on that, and I think I can make this a better platform for people where extremism is not rewarded, and that's something that I can do. I can't do that for Twitter. I can't do that for TikTok. If you ask me to flip overnight and give me that level of power and influence over Twitter or over TikTok, I would, but I do not have that level of influence. I don't even know if that influence is possible for some of the reasons I were just said, because Amazon owns, sorry, not Amazon, Twitter is owned by someone that can just run it in the loss forever. Amazon is a public company and they have to answer to shareholders, and Twitch is something that is losing money. And if it continues to lose money and advertisers continue to bail, and all of a sudden it starts affecting Amazon as a whole, and now, oh shit, they can't get that AWS contract worth billions of dollars because of some bullshit off of some other department, something with Hassan and a streaming site. What is that? Do we even own that thing? I've never even heard of it before. Then yeah, I can have an impact on that. I can't have an impact like that on something where Elon will just run Twitter into the ground and never give a fuck ever.
Yeah, you hold the simultaneous position that it's not important enough for it to be everyone's focus, but it's important enough for it to be your focus, right?
Well, I can make a difference.
Smug, this is not about like him having different priorities. This is about him having not the resources to be capable of taking another platform that is at those scales like TikTok and Twitter down in the way that he could Twitch, for example. The thing is, I think you should try to find other avenues in which you can do those then, because there are other institutions that are fighting a similar fight as you are. Like, for example...
Wait, do they want Dan to... Wait, so do they want Dan to, like, essentially try to affect US politics? Am I hearing this right? Okay.
The EU, right? And you could co-opt...
The EU wants to get rid of Dan Clancy?
No, the EU wants to get rid of TikTok and Twitter and the way like they are.
They want to restrict social media,
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want social media to be restricted. Okay, I'm a free speech.
This is about misinformation, about foreign interference, stuff like that, right? This is about.
Dan has gone to DC and spoken with the representatives, lol. If that's true, then yeah, they should push for Dan to do things. Yes. If he has that kind of power, if he has that kind of influence, then yeah, you are morally obligated to do that, yes. Because if your goal is political power, which I imagine you must have, right? Then your goal should also be trying to get some degree of little scraping of power, no matter how shameless you look, right? to be fair. But I just don't know. I just don't know whether or not it's like talking, as in like, oh, you just have a casual dinner with them, or you can actually convince them in a private room in a one-on-one conversation, right? Like these two things are completely different, right? Like one is like, oh, well, I guess I can just like casually say hi and shake hands and that's it, right? And get a picture together. But it's a completely different thing for you to be able to influence some politician's like plan, right? Like a campaign manager or something. So I don't know if Dan has that power. I really doubt that he has that kind of power, right? He only has enough power to bring attention to issues, which, I mean, he does. But that's probably what reasonably you can ask him to, right? Yeah. I mean, fuck. Technically, I've spoken to politicians before, okay? All the times I went canvassing and, the time I shook Ro Khanna's hand. Ugh, that guy. But yeah.
Protecting people, like, for example, children that are on these social media platforms to not get, like, their brainwashed. And
Yeah,
I think you should
that's good,
I think
but...
you should find a way to have a contact with the EU. Like there's representatives and stuff that you can talk to. I think this could be a fight that is more productive than just yelling on the internet.
No, people keep saying for a long time that I'm not doing anything, it's nothing burgers, nothing's happening. But they say that and then they simultaneously are screaming at me because Elon Musk is retweeting my posts and they're getting tens of millions of views overnight. You can't have it both ways. What I'm doing, for the most part, is working, okay? I'm bringing attention to what Twitch is doing, and I'm doing...
Wait, Dan is like terminally online, right? He is 100% terminally online. I just don't really see this guy go outside like me, okay? He is me on God for real.
Doing it in a way that I know how to do, and I can do it. And that's it. And I can do it with this one thing. I can't do it for Twitter. I can't do it for Facebook. I can't do it for anything else. I can only do it here.
Twitter.
And I can only be a drop in the bucket. It's not just me. Like I can do things like I can make posts, I can give knowledge about what's going on, but I am limited by the effectiveness of the followers I have and the message that I can spread. And it all, in the end, it relies on imperfect allies.
I just want to ask. I just want to throw something out there, like on the basis of like what Smug had been saying before. Because
hold on, I gotta stop. I gotta stop because this is something I see in chat. Haha, I only want Hassan's speech restricted on social media. That's not true. The reason I push for Hassan to be banned is very specifically because Twitch has unequal enforcement. If you ask me to change it, it would be that they would just equally enforce the TOS, and I stand by that every day, but they do not, okay? It's the type of thing where Hassan can go and call Jews inbred for a year. He can go and say that if you have a positive feeling about Israel, you shouldn't be able to walk a dog. He can do political death threats and nothing happened, but someone like Tectone calls someone fat and they get banned. So that is the fact.
So here's...
I don't get the dog walker comment, okay? Or the dog catcher or whatever the fuck. Like... I just don't I don't get it. Like, is it supposed to be a lowly job? It just doesn't really make much sense to me. It doesn't come intuitively. Like it probably is anti-Semitic, but like I'm not sure if it is. Like that specific insult, right? It probably is. But like the thing is yeah, I don't know.
The thing, Dan. At the same time, I mean, like I'm sure that you agree that Asmongold has said things that violate TOS as well. Yes.
I remember him getting banned for a month for one of them.
Yeah, no, not but other things that
But the problem with Dan is that he allies himself with people. I mean, you can argue that he's being pragmatic, right? But I just don't know if it's the level of, like what does he do? He allies himself with Nux Taco, Nuxanor, in the panel to criticize, and with Tectone as well, to criticize Hassan. Which, I mean, fine, you can do that, but, you know, I'm just gonna look at you a little bit weird, you know? It's fine.
He does not get banned for. Also, that was like a while ago. I think that was before he surpassed Hassan. I think that since he surpassed Hassan, he hasn't been banned. And I'm sure that, and he said like, and like, has he not said all kinds of like crazy shit since then? Like,
I don't know. It's very hard.
Hassan is saying you shouldn't be able to have any job if you're pro-Israel. Oh, well.
To understand, it's very hard to understand where Twitch's line in the sand is because it seems to be extremely fluid and not based off of reality. So yeah, on one hand, we have someone like Destiny, who's Omega permanently forever banned because he said he didn't want to fight. I don't even remember. Called trans people inbred or something like that. Right? That's gone. That's forever. Now we have Israel themselves doing, or not Israel themselves, Twitch themselves doing a ban of Israel signups off of email for a year. We have them, basically pushing Hassan on the homepage. We have them allowing stuff like Hassan calling. I mean, there's compilations of Hassan calling Jews inbred.
Yes. I know. I'm aware of that. The point that I'm trying to get at here too, though, is like, and you brought up what Destiny said about trans people.
Did you already watch Pierce? No, not. I just started stream. Okay?
Well, Asmongold said
Jeez.
some crazy shit about trans people fairly recently as well, too. I believe that you and Destiny even discussed it on anything else, and yet nothing happened to Asmongold for that. So my point is like, if you want to go after extremism on Twitch, that's a great idea, but like, why not also go after extremism on both sides? Because Asmongold is the largest political streamer on that fucking website now, and like, do you think that advertisers would be comfortable like being next to some of the shit that he's saying as he sits there laughing while people get deported and talks about like asking if like he could dress up like Ash Ketchum and. I mean, like,
how much of Hassan's content is political? Or not Hassan, Asmongold's content. How much of it is political?
Isn't the majority of it political now? Isn't like he?
Are you asking me a question?
No.
Are you asking a question?
The majority of the clips are political, but the majority of his stuff is still just like video game coverage and shit. Like he's not.
Yes, that's true.
See, why can't Smugbuck just talk normally? Like I feel like he just never talks normally, like a normal fucking person. And I thought I was a sped for drinking coffee and fucking chugging down Vyvanse.
I don't think it's fair to call him a political streamer. I think he's the largest streamer that occasionally will give bad opinions.
Yeah,
I would say he's pretty much. I think he's quite in the territory of political now. No, like so.
Wait, did he just say that Asmongold occasionally gives bad opinions? There's no way Dan just said that, right? And I thought he watched Destiny, or maybe he wasn't watching Destiny the entire time. I thought he knew more than this.
Clips are political, but the majority of his stuff is still just like video game coverage and shit. Like he's not.
Yes, that's true. I don't think it's fair to call him a political streamer. I think he's the largest streamer that occasionally will give bad opinions.
Yeah.
No. Like Asmongold is pretty much borderline neo-Nazi at this point. Like if you want to be, if you don't want to play pretend, and be completely like good faith, yeah, at this point the way that I kind of view, the way I view Asmongold is that Asmongold is pretty much borderline neo-Nazi. Yeah. He's wrong here.
I would say he's pretty much. I think he's quite in the territory of political now. No, like so. Out of the last, let's say, 12 here, these last 3 are political. For the UK government,
it's different.
Clips.
I would differ. I would
viral.
different. Yes. So I think he does outrage engagement on YouTube, and I think that's smart. You know, that gets the views, right? And he understands that. He's not going to get that many views if he does, best gaming compilation, whatever. It's not going to do it. This is what's going to get views there. But on Twitch, I don't think he's a political.
Wait, so what does he do? Does he just like fucking stream video games for 7 hours and then 1 hour politics, or what?
He just like browses Reddit and shit.
Kind of, yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Okay,
wait. I just want to catch us all up with a few things. So I'm going to correct things earlier. I think if you're going to say that like Twitch, even as a whole, might have influenced like an entire state, I think that's kind of insane. You could maybe make the argument that if you wanted to add up the entire alt-left media sphere, maybe they produced enough apathy to affect somewhere like Michigan, maybe, but you're never going to prove that. And the argument you would always make for that is just the fact that, well, maybe it didn't affect it now, but it might affect it next time, by the time after that, because they're only growing. That's a very easy.
I would disagree with you on this. I really feel like I disagree with you on this point. I know, like, it's not like cope.
Are you talking about Asmongold or Tectone? Asmongold, for sure.
It's not like being unreasonable. Like, you have to remember, for as long as I've known Twitch, and you as well, it has been the safe space, respect their pronouns, or you'll get banned. It's like the ultra lefty website. It is. It's always been this way for a long time. Like, if you say the F slur for a long time, if you said retard, you would be banned from that website. You can't tell me that level of pushing what I would say is like pretty left views compared to like the average Joe Blow in Mississippi would do, that you can't say that doesn't have any effect on political views, when I think that a lot of that has been like.
Asmongold technically leans left relatively, but I understand anyone that supports and glazes Trump is borderline Nazi. Yeah, but like the average MAGA person would say like, yeah, you know what? I probably wouldn't be opposed to gay people having relationships, right? Or something like that. The reality behind Asmongold is that he is inconsistent. However, his inconsistency is consistent, right? In that he shifts with the tide, in a way, right?
You should only.
Also, he is 100% a politics streamer. Okay, every video, just take a look at his channel. The last 20 videos. On his channel, like how many of them were just straight up fucking neo-Nazi apologia, right? Like, holy shit. Like he's cheering and clapping as people get deported, as people lose their jobs. He's defending the woman who said the N-word to a little black boy, I guess, and raised $1 million off of it. He talks about the same things as well. He praises Sam Hyde. He praises Nick Fuentes, who are both absolutely neo-Nazis. Yeah, it's just yeah, I think calling him a borderline neo-Nazi is 100% super accurate. Yeah, it just is. Asmongold this last week suggested people dox and get people fired. Yeah, and he encouraged harassment as well. So yeah, it's I'm just surprised that Dan didn't know about this. This is like big stuff that you should know about. That's for sure.
Do Bernie Sanders and he wasn't elected, so fuck him, or that type of thing. I still think that there's a level of influence there, and I wouldn't discount the largest streaming website at the time by far.
Well, discounting it for what? Discounting it for what? We're trying to say that there was like 100,000 lost apathy votes just from Twitch.
Oh yeah, guys, remember to support me, okay? I love you guys. Please like the stream. And also, there's 181 people here right now. Thank you guys so much for joining. 23 likes, okay? 23. Let's bump that up to 50 likes first. And then let's bump that up to 100 likes, okay? Also, remember, you can always donate as well, okay? Super chat, membership, or you can just go to Streamlabs. And if you donate via Streamlabs, just know that your PayPal is not private, but it gives me the biggest cut. You can also donate on Kick, and that's 95.5, okay? Thank you so much. Please. Also, keep in mind, please join the Discord server, discord.gg/Foodshops, okay? And see if the community is good for you, okay? Because it certainly is for me, okay? We have one of the best communities, if not the best community on YouTube, okay? Like, I just haven't seen a single community where I'm like, you know what? I want this community to be my community, okay? Just never seen it before, okay? I want my community to be my community forever, okay? So,
which is mostly a sign, right? Maybe what Mike.
Well, it doesn't have to.
Oh yeah, Foxy, I unbanned you on YouTube. Just behave, okay?
Specifically as well.
It doesn't have to just be apathy, right? It could be how many of these people voted for Trump. I don't know the percentage of what that could be, right? As a
they voted for Trump now? That's your position?
That's
I'm saying that any...
dude.
Hold on. Now you're trying to make it seem like I'm saying this is a bigger number than it is. I'm saying, okay, let me play this way. Are you denying not a single person voted for Trump? Are you saying that? Not one person voted for Trump? Are you saying that?
No.
Not one person?
There's some wonderful...
Has there been one person, sir? Has there been one person who voted for Trump?
Communists in Hassan.
Okay, so you won't answer because obviously...
No, I just answered. Dan, what fucking reality do you live in? What fucking reality do you live in, dude? What is wrong with you? No, I'm sorry. What?
I think Smugbug watches Queeman these days. No, I don't really like the Lonerbox Queeman bridge. The only thing like I would give Lonerbox credit for, I guess, is for resisting Queeman and the anti-fans' influence on him. That's why they really hate Lonerbox. That's why Queeman's chat hates Lonerbox. Yeah, but like they thought they could turn Lonerbox after the whole like Destiny shit went down, because Lonerbox had the most reason to become like a super hardcore Destiny anti-fan. But that never happened because Lonerbox is just too chill, and he stuck to what he believed in, and he still is like clear-minded about the fact that him and Steven actually agree on like 99% of politics, right? If not 100%, but yeah.
No, because you're screaming constantly.
I did not.
You're always at 11.
For a second. I am at 11, dude. I am at fucking 11, okay? Because I actually give a shit. I'm not an apathetic, nihilistic
that's right. You give a shit, but you have no impact.
Scrubbing with people on Twitch.
Yes, getting things done. You, on the other hand, not getting things
Getting things done at Twitch. You are literally saying that you're trying to get, like, one dude off of one platform banned.
Nope.
What stream is this? The most recent one. 2 days.
I'm saying I'm trying to change Twitch. You're again substituting your own views.
And yet it's always through Hassan. It's always through Hassan.
Hassan is the lightning rod to be able to have change at Twitch. I would agree with you. So is Mike from PA. Yes.
One thing I can give Dan, the issue with Twitch is not just contained to Twitch. A lot of the stuff that is on Twitch, like gets streamed, gets then clipped and put on other social media platforms.
Yeah, that's also true.
Okay, sorry, wait. Before that, though, I was going to say two things there, but Dan doubled down on the Twitch thing. In any case, for Smugbug, I don't know. I feel like it's a fairly normal thing in society for people to have like pet political projects, whether that's maybe someone trying to sway an election for the Democrats with all this like canvassing going around the country, but it can also be all the way down to some fucking wifey trying to influence her local councillors to change the fucking speed limits on the road or the parking situation, right? They might spend like years doing that, but people generally don't complain. I feel like your issue with this pet project, but your issue with this pet project for Twitch, where Dan seems to be trying to get like more even moderation or like a new management for Twitch, I think your issue with that just seems to be like you just think that's not that bad, or like because
No,
you would
so
never
I
have
can-
this
I can
issue with a
explain what my
fucking
issue
wifey
is.
trying to get rid of like some insignificant right-wing local councillor, right? You'd never have an issue with
I
that.
can explain what my issue is, okay? So Dan is himself a lightning rod that is able to gather people around him, okay? And the problem is that I think he is one of many people. I'm not saying that Dan is the only one, but he's one of many people who back the Democrat Party who are primarily inward-looking and focusing heavily on attacking leftists by any vector, which ends up, I think, making it harder and harder for Democrats to win future elections, because it's very clear to me that the right wing has been winning by using a tech-savvy, younger, populist group of radicals on their side, exploiting them in order to get in charge, and then now the Republicans fumbled the bag at the final hurdle and they just start bootlicking MAGA. But the Democrats, I think, are probably more effective at being able to genuinely exploit people like AOC, people like Mamdani, people who are able to bring about a populist fervor that reduces apathy, gets more people out voting, and then consolidates those people into the bosom of the Liberal Democrat Party. This is advice for you guys. This is advice that would actually help you do better than actually increasing the disconnect.
Can you guys believe that Smugbug is married? Can you guys believe that? I just thought it was crazy, okay, when I found out. Just...
between the
Jesus
Democrats
Christ.
and the people, the populists, the tech-savvy media operators that they need in order to win the next election.
So you,
That's it.
well,
Guys
you
wrong.
said AOC,
That's
Mamdani,
wrong.
etc. Are you saying the Democrats should utilize even the alt-left media people more? They should utilize Hassan instead of trying to get rid of him, like that kind of thing? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. They should be dumping money into
You
those
think
systems.
Dems?
Absolutely.
So you think Dems not just utilize AOC and Mamdani? You think they should try to utilize Hassan to their benefit?
Absolutely, yeah. And I
Okay,
think Hassan
that's
not
where
working closely enough with
I
them was
think
a
you are.
fumble. I
That's
agree.
where no, that's where I think you're fucked. I think
Like the problem is that I'm pretty sure Wiz, Smugbug's co-host, is an actual like fucking hardcore lefty. He just hides his power level. Like that's what I've been told. If that is true, it kind of lines up with what's happening right now, right? The thing is that I think Smugbug is one of these crazy lefties, but he hides his power level, which is which is obviously not good, but.
Hassan is nothing but a deadweight to this party. And again, you missed that one part of that story with Republicans, by the way.
I can
Not
believe
only
he's
did they
married.
utilize tech-savvy
Jesus.
youth and all that, they also purged the fuck out of people, far beyond anything anyone wants to do for the Democrats, right? When people talk about purging people like Hassan or like the alt-left media, it's literally people who trash the party all the fucking time. What happens if you stray one step out of line with the Republicans? Trump will blow you up on social media, and then you'll have fucking people with guns turning up to your door calling you a pedophile, right? So Republicans
know
do
what
actually
that
get rid of their barnacles. The
He's talking about a specific
Democrats, unfortunately, have allowed people who they think are allies to just come in and sap them like fucking ticks and ruin them and bring them down. Because that's all these people do. All these people do is they bring down the Democrats. They don't help them.
I think you are hyper-fixated on Hassan. You are the guys who are focused the most on Hassan. You're focused on
No,
Hassan
it's not
more
just
than
about
the Democrats
Hassan.
are.
It's not just
No, Smugbug, it's because you've been watching too much Queeman, and Queeman and J-Stoke has been glazing Hassan way too much, okay? Like, that's actually what's going on here, dude. Jesus Christ. You've been brainwashed. We need to deprogram you.
about Hassan. I
It
talk
is.
about
For these guys, Kalinda, for these guys, it is. Every time
not.
I look at Lonerbox, it's Hassan. Every time I look at Destiny, it's Hassan. Every time I
He
look at any of
is
these
a
fucking Democrat
lightning
guys-
rod for
Yes,
this
for
issue.
you
He's
guys,
the one that's
for you guys.
No,
He's
dipshit,
lightning
for
rod.
the press.
You're
He's
obsessed
the
with
one
him.
that's there. Okay, really? What about tell me the other people that have been in the New York Times a lot over the last month.
Wait,
Name
wait.
three
Just
people.
just
real
to-
quick. Name 3 people. Go.
Hold on,
What do you mean by a lot? This is such a bullshit.
Name one person. Name one.
Fuentes was in the New York Times. Destiny
Once?
was on CNN. Yeah, exactly. So
Getting shit on.
multiple times.
Hold on.
Getting shit on for both of them.
Okay, no, fuck this.
What?
This is stupid.
Now,
Listen.
what's the point of this
No,
question?
Smugbug, listen. it's
Mamdani
not-
was in the fucking New York Times.
Okay, first of all, listen. Loner doesn't talk about just Hassan, and neither does
Okay.
Destiny or any of the other people here. Yes, Hassan gets
Oh
like
yeah, it's just
a
1 hour
discussion.
of clips among 7 hours of video games that gets clipped out. And
I don't know who this Kalinda person is, okay? I'm just gonna assume that this is another person who is just there to goon to Lonerbox and happen to participate in the community, okay?
outreach farmed, yeah.
Also,
Wait, what?
God, give me some
on the
fucking
left.
credit, Smug. I make enemies out of all the fucking like
Yeah.
I know, buddy, I know.
rivers of the sea left.
It's
But that's the problem.
everyone.
You keep acting like it's unproductive, but then when I push you on it for 1 second, you're suggesting that people that I go after would be useful to the Democratic Party, which is fucking delusional. The problem that you actually have when you say, "Oh, you just talk about Hassan so much," is you don't think these people are that bad. It's that you kind of like have a sympathy for
No.
them. That's the issue that you have.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Hassan.
You don't
I
think
the
you
problem
really?
is
You
that
don't think you
guys
just
are
have a bit more
overly-
sympathy with
He
this
said
positions
we
than I
should
do?
dump. He said we should
To
dump
be clear,
resources into them.
I didn't say Hassan. I said we should dump resources into populist media savvy leftists. I didn't say Hassan specifically. Okay, if you can't,
It
if I
sounded
don't
like you
get
were
to tell
saying
you
yes to
Hassan,
Hassan,
you don't get to.
okay.
You
Sorry?
definitely.
Kinda
Hassan,
sounds like
Hassan is
No one's saying-
literally the populist leftist. Name someone better than him. He's number one.
you
maybe they could start by backing fucking Mamdani. How about that? Maybe they could actually genuinely reinforce Mamdani instead of
Mamdani's a politician. Can you name a
Well, Mamdani is gonna do that himself. Like he has to grow his base. He has to become a more successful politician. He has to expand what and then eventually the lefties will dump Mamdani like a fucking cum sock, right?
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Let Dan cook. He's always right. Trust.
He's right and he's wrong. He's a person and he's obnoxious, okay? But Dumpster, thank you so much for $5, okay? I appreciate that.
A leftist media or like a alt-right, like an alt-left media figure person, or like a media figure on the left who is online in the online space that you think the Democrats should dump resources into or work with?
Do you know what? I really can't, and it's probably because they've been starved of resources in a way that the right wing never is. The right wing always dumps money into their extremists to see what works. The right wing is always more experimental with their capital. They have way more money, for sure, but they are also willing to experiment and take risks with it. Yes, I can't, and it's because there isn't investment in these areas. There isn't investment.
No, I'm saying you can't name one. You can't name. You can't like.
Are you listening to me, Kalinda? You have not given them any fucking money. Of course, none of them are big enough to be valuable. Of course, there's no fucking opportunity there.
I'm not talking about whether or not they're big. I'm saying name one that you think the Dems should dump money into. They don't have to be big. Just like give me a name of like someone who like you are aware of or whatever. Are you talking about people like Kyle Kalinske or Crystal Ball?
Sure, I don't give a fuck. As long as they've got the ability to actually help motivate people to get involved in politics from a left.
Yeah, but the thing is that those people spend all their time shitting on Democrats.
True.
Well, not Kyle.
Do you think they would shit on Democrats if the Democrats were actually working with them? If the Democrats were actually offering any
How do the Democrats work with them? How do the what's the Democrats do to work? The Democrats are going against people, even for like fucking like these. Some of these like all left media people are even going after Bernie now. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's stupid. I don't think you should go after Bernie.
So what's that's the problem?
Well, yeah, these people have a propensity for destruction. Why the fuck would you ever like take a chance with the fucking crazy BBD chick, with like a full history of fucking leaking shit, right? Rather than go with a fucking stable like normie person who like actually has relationship experience that is like beyond just being BBD and crazy, right? By the way, that's Cherry and J Stock, okay? In case you weren't noticing. But anyway. Yeah.
You can't work with people who are absolutists.
Hassan
you
was
can't do
literally
it.
invited to the DNC.
Yeah, and then got kicked out for saying some dumb shit.
Yeah, that's on him.
I get that. I didn't say that we have to give money to Hassan. I don't know why you guys are also fucking brain broken on Hassan. It's the only guy in the world that exists to you. I'm not talking about Hassan. I don't give a shit about Hassan.
Didn't you earlier say like people like Hassan, or Loner asked you directly, do you think we should work with people like Hassan? And did you not say yes?
Gaslight you on it now. That's what's happening.
I'm not trying to gaslight you. I said populist leftists. Yeah. So
Well, I mean, it's fine to work with Hassan if Hassan actually wants to help, right? But Hassan doesn't even want to help. He probably thinks it's haram to help. To help the Democrats. He wants to see the Democrats crash and burn, right? Yeah.
Hassan is not the guy because he's already so big that he doesn't even require any fucking help from the DNC. He can just selfishly make his money the way he's always done.
Yeah, do you think that the DNC should work with him and do outreach towards him to try to win his audience? Is like I think more what Loner was asking, not necessarily just dumping resources in.
What? Sorry, you think yes? You think the Democrats shouldn't be trying to win Hassan's audience? Are you insane?
No, they shouldn't. Because the thing that you need to do to win Hassan's audience is fucking
I don't know why you linked
that.
This is the fucking problem. No, Mina, for fuck's sake. Lonerbox, this is the fucking problem. And you have the exact same opinion with MAGA. Right now, you've got 77 million people that are basically worth ignoring because they're brain broken, they're in a different reality. They basically don't exist to you anymore.
No one's 77 million.
Tim Waltz fucking said it. That's the Democrat position. Okay, Tim Waltz fucking said 77 million people are lost. There's no way to reach them.
Oh my god, and I thought I was unhinged when I was talking with Hutch. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, how does someone one-up me on the unhinged shit? What the fuck?
A million people.
Yes!
Mega.
No, he said 77 million. On fucking Gavin Newsom's podcast, okay? Tim Waltz fucking said that. So unless you're going to tell me that Tim Waltz is not an establishment Democrat as the VP of the last fucking candidacy, you can fuck right off.
If he said that, then that's fucking stupid because that is not like...
That is him, Tim Waltz. I love, I love this guy. Listen, Kalinda, I love Tim Waltz, and it's because he's a sweet, naive man who says what the Democrats really feel. Okay, he says what's actually being felt, which is that it is impossible to try and reach out to MAGA. Now Lonerbox is saying it's impossible to try and reach out to Hassan. Where the fuck are your electorate going to come in if every time you...
Well, that's the thing. Maybe a little bit of the moderates and all of your base. You can just turn out your base. There's more Democrats than Republicans in this country. There just simply is more. I'm sorry, that's just the reality of it, I guess. But that's the reality. There is just simply more Democrats, right, than Republicans. I just don't get why we simply won't just eat the Republicans.
Run into a group you disagree with.
People
You
that
just give up on trying to change minds.
you need to win the votes of the people in the middle, of the independents. They're the ones.
I like Smugbug only from the standpoint of him being passionate. I hate everything else about him, okay? I wouldn't say I hate him, because I don't really have that much emotions towards him in general. But yeah.
Yes, the people who don't vote. Yeah, we'll just keep trying to appeal to an apathetic center.
Enough of them voted for Trump this time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying nobody is saying, or at least no one in here is saying,
Headshot,
that
do you need help?
all
Do you need
77
an
million
adult?
people who voted for Trump are lost.
Also,
It's
excuse me.
right.
Also, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's not even. I don't know why that's a meme. Voter turnout in 2012, 2016, 2008, 2004, 2000 was all 50, 55%. 2020 was 62. Turnout does matter, and I think people who want to see who.
No, you're wrong. Well, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, turn on your base.
Lonerbox. Turnout does matter. In the last election, it flipped, and turnout would have been more. The more turnout would have been more effective for Trump. We've seen from the polling.
Why are foreigners getting this worked up? Yeah, because American politics is everywhere. If anything, you know, a lot of people are more passionate about American politics than their own fucking country's politics, right? I mean, it's quite bizarre. It's quite bizarre to see. Just mainly because I don't really understand this perspective. Like, I don't actually feel this perspective because I've never been a foreigner looking at like US politics. But yeah, it's absolutely a normal thing for foreigners to feel something about the #1 country in the world so far, at the very least, that has a direct influence on, you know, their own country's politics, right?
Even the Democrat establishment has admitted this finally, right? Disenfranchised, lower engagement voters are more likely to vote Trump. It's the fucking trend is flipped. So now if you've got another 10 million voters, Trump would
VHS, thank you so much for the tier 2 regular sub. Thank you so much.
have won by a larger majority. And anyone who disagrees with this is disagreeing with the Democratic establishment who's run the polling and has fucking confirmed this. Ezra Klein is fucking saying this. Derek Johnson,
Again,
the abundance cucks, are saying this.
This last election was kind of exceptional in the fact that if you were an incumbent, you were always going to lose.
Multiple Black Swan events in a row. Yeah, you're right.
What, what multiple Black Swan events? I was talking about this election. Where's the second one?
Why did
Where's the
Trump
third
win the first time? Why did Trump win the first time?
I don't know why Trump won the first time, but we're talking about 2024 when it was more than just turnout. Okay, it was also the fact that every incumbent in the entire fucking like G7 or even the G20 in the last 2 years of that election were losing because of the inflation crisis, and the economy was number one reason for.
Not Hungary, not people who are anti-immigration and leftist or anti-immigration and right-wing.
There was no trend. There was no trend. What are you talking about? There was no trend. The liberal incumbents in Poland lost.
What do you mean no trend? No, there was no trend that you can recognize. Okay, Denmark were able to hold on to it, and it's because they have economic left. Well, no, actually, they did fine.
Once again, if you're gonna bring up Denmark, you have to also mention that they always work with a minority government. Smug. We've talked about this before.
They were still in power. They literally were still able to maintain. They didn't lose share.
Denmark works differently. They know how to work together to make sure politics happens.
Well, yes, Mina, that's exactly what I'm saying.
It's not like in other countries.
I get that, but maybe we should look to the governments that were able to maintain power during this supposedly, you know, kind of like this inflation crisis that affected everyone equally. Maybe we should look to the countries that were able to maintain power and what they were doing as an example of what is possible to do to prevent that kind of a thing happening again.
Can I'd like to reframe this. I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So,
of course,
I feel like I'm a specialist, okay? And I would say that quite firmly. I created, you know, a site very similar to Twitch before Twitch, and I think the only real impact that I could...
Well, why weren't you successful, Dan? Careful.
...have is in that specialty. And I think a lot of criticism that people have is saying, why are you focusing on your specialty? And it's just because I would not have any impact outside of my specialty. If I was every day going to bat saying like, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that, that was just general Democratic or some local politics or something, I'm going to have no swagger, no movement on that whatsoever. However, if I push on the issue of Twitch rightfully being misran and driven into the ground and doing what I believe to be bad ideological policies, what would you have me do instead?
I thought it was successful. If it was successful, we wouldn't be hearing about Twitch right now, okay?
You know what? I think that's no. He just asked me.
Didn't he sell it? Yeah, but that's like the classic strategy, right? You find that maybe it isn't going where you wanted it to go. And some business owners, like, they literally create businesses just so they can sell it, right? I'm pretty sure that's a thing in the industry. Like they would literally create and start up businesses, hire a bunch of people, right? Make the business like semi-successful, and then Amazon, Google comes by to swoop it up and buy the entire workforce, and then a bunch of people get laid off. Like, I feel like this is unfortunately a pretty common thing, I think.
Question. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Okay. What?
And you know what?
Smart.
And you know what? Listen. I want to build a bridge. Okay, I agree with Dan. If he agrees that effectively he is useless in all other situations except.
By the way, it's immoral. Okay, just by the way, it is immoral. It should be considered immoral to do that. But like, I just don't know how you would prevent it, just simply because like. Because if you told one of your employees that you were gonna sell your business down the line, why, like, it could be a reason for them to not stay there anymore. Because one of the selling points that you give to, like, one of the selling things that you give to your employees is, oh, we're a growing business, we're gonna become more successful, and you should join us when we finally go public. Well, that's the issue, isn't it? That's a false promise. It's a lie. No, I wouldn't say it's a lie, right? But it's misleading, right? To any enterprising young programmer who wants a job. But yeah.
For this, they're all.
But anyway, that's like that stuff when I was in the industry. This was like this was talked about. Okay, yeah. If you have private stock with the company, it's an incentive to help. Sure. What is it called? Vested funds. Yeah.
He can fight on is this kind of pointless side issue that he himself doesn't agree has similar impact to Twitter or TikTok, doesn't have an impact that is actually going to impact an election. I mean, he basically is forcing himself to believe that and no one believes this, that him fighting Twitch will maybe get another 100,000 voters in Philadelphia. If this man is useless in all other circumstances outside of this one, then I agree. Go work on this
I'm not
issue.
saying that
If you
I'm
are literally
useless
pointless
outside of
elsewhere-
this.
Well, you
No,
have.
I'm not saying I'm
guy. You're just saying you're a little guy.
You're taking
All
it
you
to
can do
an
is switch
extreme.
stuff.
You're
Okay,
taking
what
it
was
to an
the- sorry, What's the
extreme.
moderate? What's the moderate?
You're taking to extreme, saying that I'm useless. I don't think I'm useless. I think that I have a 10x multiplier working on this particular issue, and I don't know what impact politics would be if we didn't have the.
That's literally Dan's business model. I hope not, because that's immoral. It just is. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I am biased because I'm not like from the perspective of a business owner. Though to be fair, right? Like, to be fair, there is a YouTube version of this, right? There is a YouTube version of this, and I can describe it to you guys in a simpler term, right? What if you made YouTube channels on purpose just for them to blow up so then you can sell it off to another person? Well, the issue is that you can promise your audience a lot of things. So when they join your membership, in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, I'm going to sell this channel later on, right? So I'm like kind of false. I'm like kind of misleading them on purpose, right? Or anything. Like, obviously that's kind of immoral, right? That's not cool. So yeah, that's a better way to describe why it's immoral.
Number one political streamer, that meaning in the political category.
But the thing is that, like, I just don't know if there's any good way to regulate that. It's just, yeah, maybe it's just a shame thing. I don't know.
Saying that, and also I guess a part of this as well is that I do care about Jews being demonized, and I think a lot of that is coming from the woke side of the party right now. I think that they're doing more to normalize anti-Semitism than the right is. I think Nazis on the right are rightfully stigmatized.
Redact is his baby, yeah, and that's fine. Like, if he wants like Redact to be successful, then good. It seems like he feels differently towards Redact than his other companies. I hope, at the very least, right? Yeah, pretty rough. Okay.
And some of that happens, but I think that normalization of anti-Semitism comes much more so from lefties who just basically equate Zionism to anti-Semitism so much that it becomes indistinguishable. So I feel like in this instance that I'm having a dual impact. One is I think that I can make things better for Democrats by hopefully ejecting these people that are bad faith. And then secondly, I think that I'm doing things better for Jews in general, meaning that I'm stopping the normalization of anti-Semitism by falsely equating it to anti-Zionism, which again is something that applies to like 90% of Jews worldwide. Like, I don't know what else I would do. I'm not saying I would have no impact if I just said, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to be all about Miami politics, and that's it, moving forward, and that's it. And I would have some impact, but it would be like 10x less, if not more than that, on this issue, which can have a huge impact as opposed to local.
Oh yeah, I remember why I dislike Dan now. Oh, I just remembered. I dislike Dan because he said that he could go onto my show. He could go onto my stream back then. Okay, when I was a fucking 20 viewer, 30 viewer person. Okay. And then later on, I asked him again, because he ghosted me a little bit, right? I asked him again, and he said, oh, sorry, you're just too much of a small channel. I'm sorry, with anything else coming up, I have to be careful about who I want to show up on and whatever. And for me, I'm just like, damn, dude. I mean, I'm glad that you're honest to me, but, like, I'm kind of hurt. Like, yeah. So, yeah, no, okay, yeah. And then that kind of showed me a little bit of his true character, in my opinion. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, because before, I really respected him. But before, like, I was like, oh my god, this guy's awesome. But after that, I was like, oh my god, jeez, okay, all right, fine. I didn't know it was that big of a deal, but okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
I like this. Hold on. I like this idea that you want to focus on the areas that you have the most impact. But you're a fairly wealthy guy. You're fairly charismatic. You have a platform already. You could literally be doing more in local Miami politics than the end.
Nah, I'd win. I'm more charismatic than Dan. Okay, I'm kidding. Probably not. But
impact of this. Even if you were to get Hassan banned, you tell me what happens the day after Hassan gets banned.
That's not. He said multiple times that that's not what he's. That's not his goal. His goal
whatever.
isn't to get Hassan banned.
He wants the platform to get reformed.
Sure.
He wants the platform to become reformed. So I'd like. Okay.
Yeah. I guess the answer. What happens if let's just substitute Hassan getting banned. Let's say Hassan's still there, but a new executive team comes in, a new trust and safety team, a new CEO. And now it's turned into more of a, let's say a Facebook or a YouTube. I think those are both good things. Both of those guys, it's not like Twitter. It's not the Wild West. You say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, you'll get banned there on both of those platforms. So let's say it turns more into that, which is what I would like. I think that would be a good outcome. I don't think that a lot of the stuff that Hassan has done in the past would continue to be allowed, meaning that would be good. So the really things that you hate the most about Asmongold, he would have to stop it. Because if he didn't stop, he would get banned. And that also applies to Hassan, meaning the calling Jews inbred, all this type of stuff, any positive feelings about people in Israel, you shouldn't be able to be a dog catcher. All those things, they wouldn't be allowed moving forward. And I think that's a good outcome. So if that was to happen, I think I would be done with that. That would be mission accomplished.
So you think Hassan will stay on Twitch and just become less openly radical and conform his political beliefs?
I think so, yeah. I think his viewership would tank if he went to YouTube. I think he's very heavily promoted by the Twitch staff.
Right, so this is where I got this point from. And this is where I started and stopped watching. Because, yeah.
Diversify more into TikTok, but that's why I kind of
I don't think it would actually.
Okay, because that's kind of why I want.
Okay, that's fine.
I think he would stay on Twitch, but I think he would still diversify more onto TikTok.
I think that he would probably just stop watching. He would. I think that he would probably maybe switch it up and maybe do a little bit more like he might moderate his rhetoric slightly, but he would still probably be super radical. He would just kind of know what he could try.
He would just be better at infiltrating Democrats and gently moving them towards his leftist extremist ideals. He'll just get better.
He would have to be way more moderate, and I think that's a good place to be. I think that we should have more moderation and more, I don't want to say centrism, but we should have more realistic goals. We should have people endorsing Kamala after the primaries. I don't have any issue with Hassan pushing Bernie as hard as fucking possible up until the primaries. I think that's great. I think he should do that. If he believes in those values, he should go fucking hard on it. But I think that once you start after the primaries are over and a nominee is chosen and you still refuse to endorse that candidate, I think that it's clear that you're an enemy of the party. And then when you say the extremist rhetoric of the stuff I've said before, as far as calling Jews inbred, and not all these people are, by the way, Turkey is I think one of the most inbred countries.
I thought Dan was gonna say something like, listen, not all of us Jews are inbred. I thought he was gonna say something crazy. I don't know.
Countries that there is in the world.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Listen.
No, I mean, hold on.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
Wait, that doesn't have anything
I've never
to do
heard
with
that before, but
no, it is. Look.
Yeah, hey, Dan, give us some true crime statistics next. Let's hear some true crime statistics.
See how this is offensive to you? Imagine how it feels to me that Hassan has been able to say Jews have been inbred without any punishment.
I think that's bad. I have more smoke for the left on their
dictionary around Gaza
than anyone else.
You see how that feels? Right? You were rightfully ready. You were ready to fight back and be like, what the fuck did you just say?
No, my first instinct was that's an insane thing to bring up randomly on Lonerbox's stream. That was honestly my first. I was just like, okay, we're doing this now.
We should have spoken about Israeli pedophiles. We should.
Bro, it's Dan. This is all he talks about. This is his sole mission. He's a man with a mission, okay? It's like in Inuyashiki, I guess? Man with a mission. Okay, my hero. Sorry, not the band, okay? Not the J-pop band. Fuck. Okay, I don't know why. Sorry, my mind is going places right now. Okay, Jesus.
Talking about we should talking about Israeli pedophiles. Apparently,
there you go.
What's this fucking word? Consanguineous? How do you say that?
Consanguination?
Yeah, but it's written sanguineous. Yeah, apparently it's rates of 20 to 25% marriages in Turkey. Really?
Incredible.
Is this about
okay, whatever.
about like marrying your cousin or something like that?
I don't know if it goes up to like second or third, right? Because I think in Iceland.
It's
You know, I
a
want to take it back.
It doesn't
not
matter.
the-
It doesn't matter.
Sorry,
It's
I want to take it back. It's not the
it's not
most.
a line of attack I've heard on Hassan before, but you know, it's
Oh,
interesting.
okay. Well, I would say okay, it's not the most. I got that wrong. There's a bunch like Pakistan is apparently 61%, and then Kuwait is
Hassan
54%.
brain.
But
The
it's
entire
but it's
country is
double.
falling down the drain over it. It's terrible.
Well, it's double the rate of Israel. But the whole point is, you got so upset when I said this. You know, and you can
I
say,
thought
"Oh no,
it was
because it's on
funny. It was just
Lonerbox stream."
unexpected. To be clear,
I feel-
you just
how does it
acted weird
feel
and everyone
that-
went, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah,
That
how
was
does
it.
it feel
That's all
to
that
me
happened there.
that when this happens on repeat and it gets reported and nothing happens? And then the
think
CEO
you-
says it's his
I
favorite
agree.
stream.
I
I
think
think
you're
the
correct
hold
in
on.
your. I think you're
We all
correct
agree
in
with
your
this.
in your like. Yeah, I think it's like. I think it's really bad. I think
It is
though,
bad, yes.
Yeah, it's fucked. And I think especially with this, you would be way more effective if you.
I don't know this Mina person. Listen, she sounds hot. Okay, she has a hot voice. Okay, I don't care. But the thing is that like she's a moron. Okay, like the thing is that oh fuck, dude, I fucking hate defending Dan. Dude, fuck Dan. I don't want to defend Dan. Dude, don't make me defend Dan. Just don't let me do it. Just please stop. But it's okay to have like a single sole mission that you are totally like fucking super hyper focused on, right? Like I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's okay. It's okay to dedicate your life to like this one single political mission. Otherwise, why the fuck would we have so many fucking like little organizations everywhere, non-profit organizations that are like fucking boosting women in engineering or black women in engineering, right? So fucking specific, or like LGBT in engineering or LGBT like fuck, like there's just so many fucking little gay little organizations everywhere that does this kind of thing, and that's fine, and that's normal, right? Like Dan clearly wants to be someone like that, though I think it's more like he's trying to LARP as one. But I'm kidding, joking. But but the thing is that like it's just I just don't know. It's just like this is so retarded. I'm sorry. Like if you want like fuck, Dan should have the freedom, right? Dan should have the freedom to I don't know. Like the thing is that how much like Mina, what are you giving back to Dan, I guess, right? Because if you want to view this as equivalent exchange, you can. But like what is Mina giving back to Dan that Dan wants? So then Dan can do this favor for her, right? Because fine, let's just say Dan is able to meet up with some like fucking US representative, right? From like fucking Kentucky or like fucking Missouri, okay, or some shit, okay? From the fucking light to deep south, the fucking barely south, all right? But yeah, it's just like unhinged. Maryland Plug Thug. Foodshops, are you sucking Destiny's nasty, extra long foreskin cock? You're Asian, bro. You shouldn't be this retarded. No, I love cock. Okay, where is the ban button? I don't even have my stream open. God, it's so obnoxious. We need more mods in Kick Chat. Okay, Jesus.
Once again, could talk to European like people about this. Like, make sure there's a movement, not just in the US, but also in Europe. Because
I don't think
Europe,
I have that sway that you're thinking.
No, you can try. Dan, you can try. You can try. You have your platform. No, you have your platform.
I don't really
Okay, we need more mods.
have a platform. I have a Twitter account. That's it, right? It's not like I'm doing a political show.
My bad, you're fine.
I appreciate that you think I can have that level of influence.
Look,
I don't
look,
think that's true.
you know about Stop Killing Games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something I'm guessing that started in the US and then moved over to Europe and is now actually going to have an impact because the European Parliament is going to push legislation down so that games don't get killed.
On me? No,
right?
I don't know who you are.
This is something that
and it was run by Accursed Farms, who was kind of a nobody, like Freeman's Mind, like that guy.
Yeah, this is something, especially like if you talk to, for example, especially like German European Parliament representatives, because Germans care a lot about anti-Semitism. This is something like we are super.
Yeah, but yet at the same time, well, they care a lot about anti-Semitism. They cuck themselves over it. Like the thing is that it feels a lot like fucking white people apologizing for slavery kind of shit, right? Like the thing is that like I think it's good for the Germans. Like it's good that the Germans are realizing that they've done a lot of like whatever, they're apologizing for the sins of their forefathers for the fucking Holocaust shit, right? But at the same time, it feels like they're fucking cucking themselves constantly, like a bunch of fucking retards, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you fucking grew up in school learning about the Holocaust. Just make it a single lesson. Why do you have to make it an entire like fucking course or some shit? I don't know. It's just like so fucking retarded. And by the way, okay, Germany Germany has an anti-Semitism. It has a far right-wing problem, okay? It does, okay? Why does it have a far right-wing problem? Why? It's because you're cucking yourself too hard, okay? If I told every single fucking white person in chat, to apologize for the sins of the slavers, 100% the Republicans are winning the next election, okay? If I had some degree of influence, okay? Yeah, like, shaming doesn't work, and shaming is a retarded fucking way to go about things, right? But yeah, anyway, it's just my thoughts. Okay.
Strong on like hate speech laws, and this is like
Oh,
hate speech is something that is because we care more about like the person's dignity over free speech. Like free speech is still there, but the person's dignity is more important. And if there's something that violates another person's dignity, this is something that you could definitely bring towards like the EU. This at least that's like my 2 cents. Obviously, you can do whatever you want, but like this is something that I would do if I was you.
I mean,
Okay.
look, I look at.
Sorry, go ahead.
To be fair, every European country has a far-right problem. Source am European. No, I think Germany has a uniquely rising far-right fucking thing that is especially scary. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it or something. I'm not a European, so I can't say too much, but it's just...
Dan, you can finish this part and then I'll say something.
Carrier, listen. Every single time I see you, I get triggered, okay? Do you know why? Because you're a retard. Okay, I'm joking, okay. I'm trying to rage bait you, okay?
I feel like I have, I use this term in business a little bit, but there's in business, I kind of say I have so much excitement and capital to do something new, right? Or to work on something. Like when I wake up every day, there's like a tank that I have internally of my energy and my effort and the willingness I have to do something.
Okay, is there anything more to this, or are we good? Is this just Dan debating like fucking Lonerbox orbiters for like the last fucking... Okay, we'll come back to this if we finish everything else, okay? But we have main content to get to, okay? Main content, all right?